how to build value in your sales process and the importance of building relevant value in your sales process. That's what we're diving into here today as I come back for another 5-Minute Friday. So in today's video, let's dive right into things and waste no time with the 5 minutes that we have and talk about how you can effectively build value within your sales process and why this is so important. So when thinking on this topic and deciding to talk on this, I was thinking back kind of in my journey and my sales experience. And I thought about an experience that I had very early on in that journey itself, and that was in working for my family retail jewelry business. So when I got first started with sales, it was selling retail jewelry items, in particular, even selling engagement rings, which is the primary item that family jewelry business sold. And when I first started to get onto the sales floor and have those initial conversations and speaking to people person to person there, I would be lying if I said that I wasn't shy or nervous at first. But I knew that in order to get to the point where I was more confident, I had to develop my skills and understand what I was selling and the product that I was selling itself. Now, as I started to really take some time to understand the product, understand how to grade a diamond, for example, what components came into that, color, cut, clarity, all of these things, and what makes a diamond the diamond price, going into those initial engagement ring sales opportunities, I had one of the first times somebody came in the store looking for an engagement ring. They came up to the counter. I asked them a few questions to start, just asked them what they were coming in for. They said engagement rings. And I immediately pulled out a sheet and went into educating them. I talked about the aspects of a diamond, what to look for when buying a diamond, the difference between color, cut, clarity, all of these technical specifications around what makes a diamond itself. Thinking that, you know what, if I can show up in the sales process and provide some value on this education that I have on this topic, he's going to want to purchase this diamond and this ring from me because he's so wowed by the education and value that I just provided him. But what I started to realize in that first conversation was this guy wasn't really being super open to what I was saying. He didn't really care too much about all of these educational aspects of the stone. And it wasn't until I asked him one simple question of, what's most important to you in purchasing this ring or in looking for this engagement ring for your significant other? And he straight up said to me, you know what, what's most important to me is giving my future wife the biggest stone that I can find her in the shape that she wants for this price point. And he gave me a budget to work with. And immediately that changed the whole perception of the conversation because now I knew, okay, I'm going to look for prices that are in this range with the biggest stone possible and work backwards and show him these and provide him value just on those itself, rather than providing him generalized value all about diamond education and what I thought would potentially be valuable for him. And the reality was I wasn't taking the time to actually get a clear understanding and ask him questions and listen on where he was coming from, what was important to him, and what he wanted to get to. Instead, I was assuming and providing value on what I thought would be important to him, what I thought he would find beneficial. And that in turn was creating distance in the sales conversation. That in turn was making him not be open to what I was saying because he didn't care about it. It didn't mean much to him. And he felt like he was being handled rather than being understood. Because in reality, in the experience that I learned from that, what I needed to do was start by asking questions, getting understanding on why he's in here, what he wants out of this ring, what's most important to him, and working backwards from that to really provide relevant value around that area itself. And this all comes back to the fact that when it comes to sales conversations, people don't want to be handled, they want to be understood. And if we're simply focusing on the sale and the outcome and trying to move the conversation from cold to presenting your offer and trying to get someone to say yes, we're not focused on them. We're not focused on what's important to them and how that offer may even benefit them. But if we can actually take some time to get a real understanding of where they're coming from, where they want to go to, and what's most important for them, it's much easier for us to provide actual, real, and relevant value to them within that sales process to actually show them that, hey, we're listening to them, we hear them, and we want to help them. And that's really the most important thing when it comes to providing value in the sales process. Oftentimes, we talk more and listen less, when in reality, we need to first listen more, talk less, and then we can actually provide real, relevant value to that person that we're speaking to. So for those of you selling high-ticket info products, coaching services, or affiliate marketing products online, think about this when you're having sales conversations. Because at the end of the day, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. And if we're just focusing on convincing people based on the value that we think will resonate them or benefit them, without actually first getting an understanding of what will actually resonate with them and what means most to them, we're going to come off as though we're just being that person that's trying to convince them and trying to get them to take an action that isn't in their best interest. But if we can flip that and take some time first to actually get an understanding of what's important to them, why it's important to them, where they're coming from, and where they want to go, then we can in turn provide relevant value around that. And everything we say is now perceived in a different way because it's actually towards the lens of what they care about most and what will actually help them most, versus just us spewing a bunch of information, trying to look like the expert, trying to add that authority to the conversation, and in turn just creating more distance between the person that we're speaking to and repelling our chances of making a sale. So to close out here, remember that selling is not telling, and value in your sales conversations is critical. But it's important that we draw the line between just trying to give random value and just trying to spew our knowledge and thinking that, hey, this will benefit them, versus actually taking some time to get an understanding of who we're speaking to, what's most important to them, and how we can provide real value and relevant value to them itself. With that said, that's a wrap for this week's 5-Minute Friday. If you got value from this one, be sure to hit the like button below and drop a comment below with your takeaways in watching this video. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you on the next one.